Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Things just haven't been great over there. We're a little frustrated. We can't seem to talk to anybody.
More trouble brewing at the Prairiewood post office. This time the complaints are coming from a South Fargo business and its customers who say they're suffering because of the issues they've been experiencing with the USPS.
They claim they've done everything on their end and now want the Postal Service to step up. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer looks into what's happening at this South Fargo post office.
We just opened something on Monday that was postmarked in November that finally just got back to us.
Not being delivered in a timely manner, letters getting returned for no reason, and certified documents being mishandled. Those are just a couple of the issues some employees from a South Fargo business say have been giving them headaches. They asked us not to identify their business in this story.
It's still frustrating. If you send a check, you expect that it's received, not having to void a check and cut a new one and wait 2 months to expect that payment's been processed.
And what's more, these employees tell us their business relies on timely payments from their customers. But they say that hasn't always been possible.
We got 5 letters back from the same tenant, with the oldest date being November 1.
And as you can imagine, some of their customers haven't been too happy with what's going on either.
Some of them don't understand maybe it is just the mail service, so we do get blamed for some of it, which is completely out of our control.
So these employees wanted something to change. They called and visited the Prairiewood post office, but claim they didn't get anywhere.
I gave her my address. She told me what route we were on, and then she said, "Oh, your driver's on vacation."
On top of that, this employee tells us when they were given their mail for the missed day, they also got their neighbor's mail too. Then they filed a complaint online with the USPS.
We're not really sure what else to do. That's why we wanted to contact you guys. We know that Governor Hoeven has gotten involved as well, and we were hoping maybe we could see some changes, but it seems to be that things are just getting worse.
We tried talking to someone here in Fargo at the post office about the issues this business and other Fargo residents have brought to our attention, but couldn't get a hold of anyone.
The United States Postal Service Customer Care Center. To hear our privacy policy,
we also reached out to the spokesperson with USPS. They tell us they are not aware of any mail delivery issues in general, but will look into this specific post office. However, we've contacted this same person in the past with complaints from South Fargo residents. They responded to our email with background information on the Informed Delivery app, leaving our questions unanswered. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
We give U.S. Senator John Hoeven a call. Hoeven previously said he wanted to get to the bottom of what's happening at this post office and other locations around the state. In a statement, his office tells us they've been in contact with USPS officials with any new complaints to ensure that the post office addresses the issues.
It was a week ago tonight that the search was on for a killer in central North Dakota. 4 people were found dead inside a Mandan business, and the suspect would be found a few days later that week in Washburn. The 4 who died included the owner of RJR Management and 3 workers. As Chad Isaac sits in jail awaiting trial surrounding their deaths, efforts are underway to help family members left behind. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help Adam Fuhrer's wife and 2 sons. They have raised more than $600 toward a $10,000 goal. And Bree Miller, the daughter of William and Lois Cobb, has raised more than $10,000 with a goal of $100,000 to help with funeral and travel expenses for her family and siblings. You can find a link to both of those GoFundMe pages on valleynewslive.com and find this story.
2 people who had active warrants out for their arrest are behind bars tonight after deputies found them hiding in flood water early this afternoon. Deputies with the Cass County Sheriff's Department were patrolling the area of 170th Avenue Southeast, just northeast of Harwood, when they found 2 vehicles stuck on an impassable road surrounded by water. A short time later, deputies got a tip that 2 of the people stuck had active warrants. They found 39-year-old Jessica Trottier and 38-year-old Thomas Hipschman submerged in water trying to hide. Trottier had a warrant out of Cass County for possession of a controlled substance and a probation violation. Hipschman had warrants out of Pierce and Foster counties.
A Grand Forks man has been arrested for what court documents say having over 700 images and videos of child porn on his phone. 38-year-old Jacob Gersevsky has been charged with possession of certain materials that are prohibited. Court documents say on February 14th, 3 cell phones were found in a dumpster and were turned over to police. Police say that they found multiple images of child porn on one of the phones. He admitted to owning the phone that was found in the dumpster and that he knew the phone contained images and videos of child pornography.
The Red River in Fargo is currently sitting just above 35 feet. That's very close to the forecasted crest.
Valley News Team's Katie Opperly went for a ride along today with the U.S. Geological Survey crew to show the river close to, if not at its peak.
This is not average. This is actually going to be the 9th highest flood since the river gauge that we've had here in Fargo, North Dakota has been recording since 1902.
35 feet of water is now coursing through the Red River, swallowing parts of the metro area and beyond.
There's a greenway, a walking path that runs along the river. Come on back in the summer and take a walk on that. And imagine that there's 8 feet of water above your head right now.
U.S. Geological Survey crews have been measuring the depth, speed, and volume of the river, showing thousands of cubic feet flowing through the river every second.
Now, if you can imagine a 1 by 1 by 1 cube, there's 19,500 of those going by this cross section in the river every second.
The river has been climbing each and every day, impacting homes and roads, but over the weekend only rising a matter of inches. Thomas says the much slower rate shows that it's leveling out.
We have some sensors in the water that are monitoring the river level currently. And from those sensors, it looks like it's still going up, but very, very slowly.
And after the river crests, USGS says it's expected to recede slowly. The water levels are constantly being monitored, and you can check them online at any time. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
And for a link to where you can check those water levels and find more information, go to our website, valleynewslive.com.
A Red Wing, Minnesota teenager walked away with minor injuries after a boulder fell in front of her car. Thousands of pounds just waiting to fall on Highway 61. One of those boulders made its way down at the right time without hitting any cars. But one did hit Sydney Flack's car on Friday evening. Flack says she doesn't even remember the impact. She says her Ford Focus was torn up from the bottom. She knows she's lucky to be alive after this incident.
North Dakota senators have approved a bill which would decriminalize recreational marijuana. That means anyone who smokes marijuana or is found in possession of less than a half ounce would only have to pay a $250 fine and could avoid prison time. The bill would also lower the penalty for anyone found with marijuana smoking devices to a $100 fine. The House and Senate will consider a final version of this bill before it can go to Governor Burgum's desk.
A bill to reinvest Medicaid dollars into tribal health care is in trouble after its first conference committee hearing. The bill could save North Dakota about $7.5 million while also giving the tribes more money for health-related costs. The fight is whether tribes should get 50% of the total saved money or 70%.
It is kind of a tough position because this is a point where additional federal funds are going to come into the state if these agreements are in place. And if we can't agree on that percentage, then it's just not going to happen.
These care coordination agreements are voluntary. Nathan Davis, a councilman from Turtle Mountain, says the tribes will not go any lower than a 70-30 share.